Welcome everyone to another episode of the Smacked Up Wrestling Podcast. I'm Will.
I'm Martin.
And as usual, leave us a like on the Gaming Vault and sub to the channel as well, so you get to hear me and Martin every Tuesday, Wednesday, and the Saturday and the Monday for the pay-per-views. Also check us out on Facebook, where you can get to see any pictures or any posts we put up, and leave us a like there to follow us as well. So, happy being back to a quiet week of wrestling.
Oh, I know.
Until Saturday comes round. But Raw was actually entertaining.
It's almost as if they've finally taken some notes from SmackDown, isn't it? They're setting up some stories. They're actually putting in an effort here. Things are interesting. It's still got a little bit to go.
Yes.
But the signs are there that they're actually trying. Yeah. But again, Survivor Series is done. It's the 4 months in the run-up, or 5 months this year as opposed to Mania.
Yep. So they've got to get stories put in place. They've started a few. I've only got 2 issues for last night, but we'll get to them.
Of course.
So the show opens with the highlight reel with KO. Great segment as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Really entertaining. And when Roman came out, he got some amount of heat, but he was actually no bad in the microphone for a change.
I wonder if it's maybe changed how they script them. Everyone seemed a lot better last night overall.
Yeah, it was
a lot more
strange.
To me, that would mean that they've changed how they're approaching things. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the script, the Raw that was floating about a couple of weeks ago. It was like every promo, regardless of who was involved in the promo, was word for word.
Oh, for fuck's sake, that does not surprise
Imagine
me.
having to remember all that, especially given how it's known how late in the process they change things.
Yeah.
It's not unheard of for Raw to be rewritten as it's airing.
Yeah, it's not even that. They're quite. Is it comedy writers they've actually got some in?
It's worse. Well, no, because comedy writers would maybe make a joke. It's reality TV writers.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
That's what they want now. Like I seen a job posting last week. It was shared on Reddit. You had. It was just like WWE script writing, the usual stuff about how the travel's excessive. Some people get to work from home, blah blah blah. You'll be working with a variety of people, and but then it was like you need your degree in writing, for television and stuff like this. It's like, or 5 years working in reality TV as a writer, or like 5 years working in reality TV as a showrunner kind of thing, and it had all these things linked to reality TV, not like scripted quality dramas or anything. I'm talking about the right shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, especially now, given like it's, our age group that are making things, are starting to be the ones that are making things, because obviously, Breaking Bad, no, it's all like 40 to 50-year-old types.
Yeah.
Your generation's coming in, you're going to get different shows that appeal more to us. They would be dumb to just stick with reality TV if you're going to have a lot of very talented people who are actually fans of wrestling coming up.
The reality scene, and I think you'll agree with me, that was alright for like 1989 to maybe 2004.
When they actually use some bit of reality.
It's dead. It's 90% fake. Nobody cares about it anymore. So to even have them as writers, I just probably that shows how some of the cracks have been shown, and you've not got a great storytelling, especially in Raw. I mean, SmackDown.
Well, that's the thing. SmackDown's the NXT guys, and they're more people that were into wrestling.
Yeah.
Not, coming in from outside. I've heard all this stuff, like they don't want writers that are marks, or they don't want them to show that they're fans, whereas, surely this is the one job where that would be an advantage. I mean, it's like getting somebody to write a Star Wars film that fucking hates Star Wars. What's the point?
Like George Lucas?
He just likes money, business, and insulting racial stereotypes.
Yes.
Do you know what still blows my... Sorry, let's just ignore wrestling for a second. It still blows my mind that the bloody leader of the Gungans in episode bloody 1 was Brian Blessed.
Fuck off, was it really?
It was Brian Blessed. And apparently the fat thing was a Jedi.
Fuck off. Really?
Aye.
Oh,
I was reading his book. which is fantastic. By the way, the guy's just a comedy genius. Um, you can really tell he wrote it. It sounds like him shouting it at you. Uh, but he was that big fat Gungan leader who was also a Jedi.
Ah, fuck off, man. Really?
And he's a massive Star Wars fan, so like,
It,
although he never said that he hated it, he was just saying it wasn't quite what he expected.
that gives me more reasons not to watch that one now. Still more reasons not to watch it.
I'm blessed is a reason to watch anything.
North's episode 1, mate. No, no.
No, but it's not like him being in it makes it worse. If anything, it gives it
Oh,
a
no, no.
class
Oh,
deserved.
no, no, no. I wouldn't put like Brian Blessed in the same category as Jar Jar Binks.
Oh no, he's better than that.
No, no, no. I couldn't do it.
Have you not seen that theory that Jar Jar is actually the real Sith Lord?
I wish he was. Just
It
kidding.
would actually make it better because it would have been him that. This isn't wrestling at all. Lovely.
No, no, we've totally went off script completely, and we're talking.
Yeah, well, we're
fucking Star
sticking with
Wars.
it now because I've
Right.
started.
Right, go with it.
Right, so he was thinking about Anakin when Anakin was away and being impressionable on him. He was in a position to help Palpatine get his stuff through in the very boring political scenes because he represented Naboo and all that in the Senate. And then, Sith Lords always work in pairs. So what did we have in the original? Sorry, not the original. The sequel trilogy, which also prequels. You had 3 Sith guys.
Well, all I can say is thank
That means
fuck.
there was a fourth. There was a fourth. It's always a rule of 2. So you had Palpatine, Darth Maul, Count Dooku, and eventually Anakin came in. But Anakin was there before. That was 3, and you're not allowed 3. 3's illegal. 3 means one of them has to die. So there you go.
Well, all I say is thank fuck, and this isn't spoilers. The movie's been out for 2 years. If you've not seen it, tough shit. Thank fuck that planet blows up in episode 7.
Aye.
Right, so Jar Jar's dead. Fuck him.
Hopefully he died before then.
Oh, I
Just
know.
like, somebody, like, I don't know, maybe just veered off the road slightly in their floating motor and hit him right in the face.
Oh, I'd love that.
Splat him like a bug on the windshield.
Love that, mate.
I would love to see it.
Aye, so Roman Reigns.
Speaking of Jar Jar Binks,
Speaking of Jar Jar Binks,
Roman Reigns comes out.
he was actually no bad in the mic, and they set up a great segment where, like, KO just totally knockbacks Jericho. Jericho goes in a huff. But this is my problem with the Roman Reigns just now. Having him go for that title, okay, right? He is a main event guy, but you've put that US title on him. So where the fuck's the mid cards?
Well, I tell you what, they're not doing. Wrestling for the US title, because he's not defended that.
No, I mean Rusev. Right, fair enough. Some of them were in Shanghai. I know it was this. Was that live or taped?
That was last week. That was like Friday,
Was it
Saturday.
Friday, Saturday. Right, sorry, I thought.
The roster was all back. I don't know about the SmackDown guys.
No, they're still in France, as far as I know.
Right.
So they
Well,
might be
certainly
back
the
today.
Raw team were back.
Right. Looking at that roster, right? Take
Aye.
away Rusev.
Yep.
Cesaro would have been mid card, but he's in a tag, so he's took right out mid card.
Same for Sheamus.
Yep. So they're away. Sami Zayn, Braun Strowman.
Well, they're busy with each other just now.
So, but even at that, mate, the way they've pushed Braun Strowman, he's like that Roman Reigns style where he's like floating in between. But
I think when they break away Braun from what he's doing just now, he's going to be challenging a face champion.
the problem
World champ, I mean.
the problem I've got, and this is where when everybody said that IC belt should have went to Raw, there's my point proven. Where is the mid cards?
Where's the mid card? There isn't one.
Right, the argument back to that is when you look at SmackDown, fair enough, you've got Miz and Ziggler going back and forward for it, and they're 2 ex-world champions. The thing to build, they're keeping that belt irrelevant, but when you look at their mid-card, the likes of Braun Strowman, Kalisto, Apollo Crews, they're still
Oh, you mean boring?
boring.
Boring Carboon.
They're still trying to place their bit just now and get themselves elevated. Then they've got the mid card, so by rights they too keeping that belt relevant and it's getting defended.
Well, the thing about SmackDown is they've got an hour less to fill, and they've put the focus of their middle show on the tag team division, rightfully so, given
There's better talent in the tag team division than there is in the mid card.
As you say, they've kept their IC belt relevant. Whilst, I mean, nobody's really worried about that mid card in SmackDown because they're all quite happy with the storyline, and the tag team division are holding up their end. Obviously, the women's is still getting used, not as much as I would like on SmackDown, but it's there and everything's. Something's happened, so you're not worried about.
No, you're not. That's the thing.
Things like that. Whereas in Raw, there's 3 hours. There's no mid card.
Exactly.
And I'll go on a rant about this later, as I did warn you.
Oh, no. I'm the same as you in this one. So that sets up basically.
Oh, sorry. Just before we move on from this segment, see if they do decide that they're scrapping the best friends. Right? And there's going to split Jericho, and see if Roman causes that. The crowd will never, ever, ever forgive him.
No.
There will be no way back. Just now there's a way back for Roman, as we've seen during Survivor Series. When they had that little Shield team up, the crowd went mad for it and then booed him again after. If Roman breaks up these two, he is completely and utterly fucked.
You would need somebody like Seth Rollins who can take the balance.
Exactly. Who can actually deal with a crowd that's hostile to him and not stand there gormless.
Because did they say before it or was it made after? We knew the title match was going to be for Roadblock. We know it's them, and that's...
Yeah, they've already advertised it, which is bizarre why they're doing this story.
Aye. So they've done a good backstage segment with KO and Jericho arguing.
Yes.
And Mick Foley kind of pops in.
Trying to get Jericho.
Aye, and then he's away. And then you had R-Truth versus Braun Strowman, which is a squash match. Braun Strowman looked fast as fuck.
I told you about this that match with the 3 jobbers he was up against, and he was just lightning quick taking them down.
I could not believe
a guy that size shouldn't move like that.
No.
And they've stumbled onto something by accident with him.
Yeah, he's great. He won. Obviously, it was a squash match. Sammy intervenes, and then probably we had... It could be argued, like people are saying it was a great segment. I found it more funny than great. It was alright.
Well, I was actually looking forward to this bit because I really like the storyline they're setting up.
Right, okay.
Because after you had R-Truth get murdered, Goldust came in to try and help his friend and gets murdered, and Sammy comes in to try and save him. And, he gets his little hope spot in, but then gets murdered. And then Foley comes down to calm down Strowman. And he says to Sammy, this is a fight you can't win. And you've seen Sammy's reaction. It was perfect. Like, I need to prove this guy wrong. Without even saying a word, you knew that he was now had a reason for this. Not just, being shoved at him for a punishment. Now he's got a reason for this storyline to happen. He's the underdog. He's in the position that Daniel Bryan filled so well. And let's be honest, Sammy's his heir apparent in this situation. If they can do this properly, Sammy's on his way to the top within the year.
No doubt, I do believe good things are coming Sami Zayn's way. He does deserve it because he's a great performer. And I was listening to Talk Is Jericho with Kevin Owens, and he was talking about how people crack up with him because he likes to change things quite a lot to make the match look good. And rightfully so. I've not seen a bad match with him. The funniest part of it was Mick Foley's teeth. That was fucking hilarious.
Oh, I know, but what the thing is, right? I don't know how many of his books you've read, but one of the things he mentions a few times is that he fucking hates those false teeth.
I know. He's made a joke about he always has to take them out when he's eating. I know, but if he really hates them, there is no way in hell that Vince or someone is going to sit him down and go, you've no teeth after all the stuff you went through for us.
here's some falsers. I don't believe that for a second that they did that to him. I think it's something Mick decided himself. Maybe I should look more presentable, you know.
Aye.
But either he can't put them in right, or they're not fit for purpose. And let's be honest, his beard hides his mouth.
Yeah, the good thing is he made quite a big joke about it.
Of course he did.
He's made a massive joke about it, and it was funny. That took the edge off that segment.
Yeah,
that's what it killed it for me. It's like, fuck, I can't.
I know.
Because I love Mick Foley. This whole commissioner style he's doing, I don't like this style. I preferred the very first time we done commissioner.
Oh, everybody did the commissionery position. He actually mentioned that at ICW.
I love that version. I'm not saying they should always go back to past things, because like people were like, oh, they're bringing back the Attitude Era because of last night. No, they'll never go back to the Attitude Era because of last night. They've done amazing things last night. It will never happen again. But I don't want to keep relying on the past.
No, I mean there's certain little. I mean there's no harm in like Easter eggs, if you will, for long fans. Little references. I mean, it wouldn't be a horrible thing if they'd brought back his mobile office. You know, and he was always set up like on forklift trucks or in cupboards or behind the exit door or hiding at the bins. You know, something like that.
Last night would have been perfect because Stephanie McMahon wasn't there. So he's running the show. That would have been a nice, like you said, an Easter egg. Just one segment of him backstage, he's in a boiler room. Or come in and see the commissioner. Or he's in a toilet. Come in and see the commissioner. That would have been so funny. Because last night they did do so many things right and so little wrong. We're getting to the two things they've done wrong. But it was good, and then it leads to a brilliant fucking backstage car segment with Rollins and Jericho.
Yes, that came out of nowhere. This is the unpredictability that I've missed.
The backstage brawl with the car first, with the guy hitting the list with his hand by accident. It was so funny, and then I'm on the list, and he's like, "Yeah, you're on," and then it's Rollins. And it was brilliant with finishing with a pedigree tap of a car. We've not seen that for a long time.
I mean, you're looking at almost 20 years.
It was great.
Without exaggeration.
It was a really good... They done it right. They didn't make it look stupid as fuck. Because they've tried certain backstage segments, it does look stupid. But that one, they nailed. That was really well done. So here's where the night I felt took a bit of a twist, right? So you had your women's title match, Sasha versus Charlotte, and it starts off great.
And
then they get a double count out. So Mick Foley says the match will be a no DQ, falls count anywhere, all the shebang, but later.
Well, it was just an excuse to move it to the main event.
Which
I think also it was an attempt at getting people to come back or stick around for the third hour.
You could be right, mate, because after that, the crowd kind of died in its arse until...
Well, the thing is, though, that first little... Well, I don't even want to call it a match. It wasn't really that long. That first segment between them wasn't their best stuff. Obviously, they were saving themselves for later on.
Yeah.
But if you're going to have those two kind of, I mean, in context, half-ass what they're doing, who's going to come back for hour 3 to see more of that? Because you're not expecting them to blow the roof off the place.
Because I don't know about you, but it felt like such a lot of talking through the first...
It was.
Through the first segment.
Almost as much as at Glasgow.
Aye. Oh, fuck, aye. It's up there. So the crowd's starting to get... It's that middle point, like what I say to you, when you're at that middle point of Raw, it's like, wow, holy fuck, this is dragging now.
Aye.
And then it started to drag just a wee bit. Because you had Enzo versus Rusev, and Enzo...
I just want to say, it's quite funny that Enzo's insisting that week 1 was a fluke win for Rusev.
The thing I wanted to talk about was his promo. And, okay, he's an edgy character, and like people might complain with me saying that. It's like, fuck, grow up. This is, again, going back to the Attitude Era. It's not going back to the Attitude Era. Right, so last week they done a segment where he's in the nude, fair enough.
Yes.
You could clearly see he's wearing something in the pixelated.
Oh, aye.
So, and then they did the thing with Lana.
Yep.
Me and you both agreed, in this day and age of wrestling, it's no the same anymore. That was alright 20 years ago, or even Ruthless Aggression era.
Aye.
It's no for now. And then what do you get with his promo? I'm going to stuff it in a turkey. And I just sat there, face palm myself, mate. I was like, do you know what? You have been entertaining with your promos as much as I don't think you're that great. That was the worst fucking promo of the year. And that and when you think Glasgow was different, but when you think over in the States where you have got maybe say 60% as children, it's got to be in that crowd.
Well, not necessarily for the big shows. I mean, certainly at house shows. Usually the big shows are attended by our age group, people with disposable income, not so much families. But it still shouldn't have been
it shouldn't have been done. It wasn't funny. That was the point. See,
well, that's the other thing. I'm willing to give a lot more leeway to a joke if it's funny. But that is just like, here, let's be edgy.
It died.
Let's be edgy. No. That's just the Devil May Cry remake.
That's the thing. If it was funny, I would have probably been... I would have had my complaints, but know what? A crowd laughed. I found it funny. I can't really be a hypocrite on my own comment, because I laughed at it. But the fact that I literally face-palmed, and it was like, that, it was so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. Whoever wrote it for him, or if he came up with the spot... Right, fair enough. I know wrestlers like to ribbon each other. It's one of the things, but no, that was fucking bad. And basically, it was a squash match, and I'm just going to get straight to the point. He got booted in the balls. That was it. Booted in the balls.
It was even subtle. It was just, this is happening now. Bang.
And this is the point where we were talking about the mid-card situation, where you only have Rusev and Sami Zayn. Like I said, Braun Strowman's in that floating about area, but you're right. He'll get pushed to be a big monster.
The US belt, he'll get booted right up.
So the crowd dead, and then you had, in my opinion, a good match with the cruiserweights.
They can do good matches, and do you know it's funny that they suddenly bring out their unique spots the week that their show's on.
Yeah.
You know, if maybe they'd done this a month ago and kept it up for the past month, we wouldn't need to worry about 3 hours of wrestling. And they'd have probably saved themselves some money, because now they're travelling to Raw, and instead of them continuing with the Raw crew to go wherever the hell they're going next.
Mate, do you know I've actually missed the other cruiserweight match? That's how much the Mick Foley segment
Jesus
killed.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, well, we had a match between Cedric versus Tony Nese. Tony Nese won. There you go.
Aye.
that was it.
Just one thing about it. See Cedric Alexander, at one point, he jumps off the rope because Drew Gulak's up in the apron, right? And you think, what's he going to do? What's this crazy wee flying about man going to do? He jumps off the turnbuckle, he lands on his feet, and he slaps Drew Gulak in the face. It was a flying slap.
See,
now, that right there, that's why I'm not taking the Cruiserweight division seriously.
So see the matches we've watched, it has been, thank fuck I'm not doing tag matches just now, but 90 the matches I have watched, and I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, because it is a new product.
I'd like to, but see, quite honestly, they haven't earned that.
Well, no, that's the thing, because the matches are all the same, apart from with Brian Hedrick. I mean, the match with the Good Rangers man and Swan just done all the same shit. There's nothing new. It's the same shit we see weekend out. And
not even from cruiserweights, from people twice his size.
Aye, so it's like, well, the crowd were not interested. I mean, it was a good match, but the crowd were just like, what the fuck?
Aye.
So,
but this is the thing now, because of them, let's be honest, pretty much making a boss of this in general as a division. We can't blame Noam for this. He only showed up a couple of weeks back. But anyway, they now go from travelling with the Raw crew to travelling with the SmackDown crew to go and do 205 Live after SmackDown. I don't know. Yeah, I do not want to see the state of that arena, because I guarantee, see, when SmackDown's done, that crowd's clearing out.
Aye.
Guaranteed. Anyway, so then they do that. So now, do the Cruiserweights stick about the SmackDown crew and then go back to meet Raw? Do they go and meet Raw people? All I know is that's going to cost them a fortune. WWE don't cover travel.
What they should have done, right, was make it right. It's go to the same show. Why no tape it when it's NXT's getting taped and it's in that small arena and when the crowd fucking loved it?
Again, no, that's not really helping with the travel costs because wherever they are, they're going to need to fly to Orlando.
No, but what I mean is, say for talk's sake, they weren't on Raw or SmackDown, and they just moved it completely to that show. Say they kept they kept the
title.
The title.
Even see if they did title matches on Raw and pay-per-view.
Yeah, keep the title and the challenger, or maybe the challenger and like there you go, the Good Rangers man, or bring a couple. Right, we'll have a one match tag, but we still have relevant the titles here.
The thing is, though, the Cruiserweights are there to make up Raw's time.
Aye, and it's not paying off.
They're an afterthought, and they have nothing unique about them. It's only this week where you've really seen a match where you go, actually, that stood out.
But the crowd didn't enjoy it.
Well, that's because of how the Cruiserweight division's either been booked or the people have been performing. Either they've been half-arsing it or they're not allowed to do what they can do.
I mean...
And the crowd don't give a shit.
I mean, that's my complaint about, is it Rick Swan? Or
yeah,
Rich
Swan.
That's my complaint about him because it's the same shit. And the Good Rangers man, since he's debuted, has been different. There's a bit of a brawl in him, but he does his different stuff.
Well, he's had the advantage of seeing the state of them and then knowing what not to do.
And that's how I'll be honest with you, mate. I don't think I'll watch 205 Live tomorrow night. I genuinely don't think I'll watch it. Which is a sin because I
won't watch it live. I'll have a wee look on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm no fussed.
No, I'm the same. But let's talk about something great, right? And it's Malcolm.
It's Angus. I went to lean back and he was behind me, like in my blind spot. That's me just shoved him at my road. Like, didn't he pick him up? Just pushed him gently to my right so I can lie back.
Right. Tony's going to start. Right. See, before we get into the great segment, right? Off air before we started recording, right, Mark? I've got to talk about it with Malcolm.
He's ran out the room.
He ran out the room, mate. That was so funny. That Malcolm talking. That was.
Nobody will believe it.
No, nobody will believe us because I wish I recorded that because I even put as like an outtake because I thought it was you when we basically people what we do before we do our podcast, we do a quick 2-second test, make sure Martin's coming through, the recording equipment's fine, and you can hear me through, and we record it through OBS. So we just make sure everything's fine. Right, we're ready to go. We hit the show. And there was like a brief 2 minutes before we had to record because Malcolm started going rah 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 rah, and I thought it was Martin doing the test with me because me and him usually bounce off each other during the test. It's just like just bullshit we do. Just just make sure the noise is coming through clear on both ends. And I thought it was Martin, and it wasn't. It was the dog. Or the dog.
Which you only worked out when I spoke at the same time the dog went off.
Well, I keep forgetting we've got American listeners now, and
it's a dog.
It's a dog. It's a dog. It's not a dog. I keep forgetting. I mean,
we're giving them an education. It's okay. It's about time America got one.
It's been strange. Like the last couple of podcasts because I've looked at the analysis where we're getting a lot of listen to, and it's. A lot's been America, so it's good.
Hi, America.
It's good. Like I said on the wee channel update, because like me and you have both spoke about it. Fuck it, I'm going to plug it. Is like there's a new show coming on the channel, the Codec podcast, the Codec Memories podcast, where we're going to talk about games, no wrestling, and it was one of the things where like a lot of people were watching it, and I was like, oh, right, okay, I've got to start changing how I speak now because like there is a lot of American wrestling fans.
We must be polite.
Yeah, but we won't be English polite, we'll be our Scottish polite. So it's got to be hard for me. It's got to be hard for me, mate. That's a struggle. It's got to be hard for me.
You've done okay the past few compared to me.
But
I can't promise I'll stay polite because if once I go ranting, I'm not going to give a shit.
No, I can picture when we get to the Roman match,
which is next.
Oh no, we've got an amazing segment, mate.
I know,
but it's next. It's coming. The rant's coming. Just I wish I had sound effects for alarms going off.
Need that sideshow Bob rake.
But the bar scene, mate, was one of the funniest, amazing
Wonderful.
things I've seen this year on Raw completely, and even of course SmackDown. Last week we thought Dean Ambrose bit was amazing. This topped it. They topped it with this, and it was so well done.
Again, a bit of a throwback
with the APA. I know.
Yeah, but in a good way, not in a way where you kind of rolled your eyes going, "Oh God, they're retreading old ground." No, it was a nice little buddy moment.
Yeah, and it paid off really well done. Cesaro was fucking hilarious.
Well, maybe I should explain what it was. The two of them were in a bar and having a drink. Well, Sheamus is having a drink, chatting to some girl.
He's having a pint of Guinness.
Of course, he is. And Cesaro comes in and it looks like he's got a Jack and Coke or something.
No, it was a martini shaking, not stirred he asked for.
Oh, that's what he asked for, yeah.
It was so funny. I was like, what the fuck? You're going
James Bond,
I know.
Swiss. Well, all Swiss, not half Swiss.
He's all Swiss.
You know James Bond's half Swiss, half Scottish? He's not English at all.
I know.
There's a fact for you all.
I know.
Anyway, never mind that. Anyway, so the two of them are having a wee chat and like, right, don't need to team together again, let's have a drink. And some prick gets in Sheamus's face and says how ridiculous he looks and he lost and blah, blah, blah. And Cesaro tried to calm him down, then someone else joins in, so then they booted fuck out the whole bar. Cesaro threw a guy through a wall.
Amazing.
And then they had a Guinness each.
It was amazing. Just watch that segment on YouTube. Just watch it. It is so well done.
Much fun. The two of them are clearly
enjoying it.
Yeah. And they're now backing each other up.
It was really well done. Great laughs. It was brilliant.
Belts.
Now we're going to get to the rant. Right. I'll say my wee bit. I'll say my wee bit, right? Because I know you're going to rant. Okay. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, I think should have been before. It should have been after New Day, right? But that's just my opinion. It was a great brawl. No much a wrestling match, a great brawl.
Which is something I miss.
I don't miss it. I no, sorry, I do miss the great brawls, but that was really well done. Having the US champ go over the Universal Champion, I'm no
cleanly.
That's the thing, clean. I don't have a problem because I know that. I hope I'm using that term there. Hope the title does not change hand at Roadblock. Because Kevin Owens is not made to look weak compared to Seth Rollins when he was the champion. So I have no problem with it. But we've got another 3 weeks, am I right? Or 4 weeks before Roadblock?
Something like that, yeah.
So as long as they don't fuck it up, where Kevin Owens is losing constantly and then comes out victorious, I'll be fine. If they fuck this up...
They've already fucked it up as far as I'm concerned.
They fucked it up with having Roman Reigns gone after that title purely because he's the
by
US
having
champion.
Roman Reigns go the US mid-card champion, regardless of where he's been in the card before. They fucked it up by having him going over the world champion clean in the middle of the ring. Because the whole point of a world fucking champion is to be the best in the world. And whether that is by winning because he's a good guy or being a dirty bastard because he's a bad guy, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is he's the best. He has no business losing to the guy with the secondary title. It makes your world championship look like shit, makes your champion look like shit. And what's the point in him going for that belt? He's already beat the guy, he's got a belt. This thing's just a gaudy piece of shit belonging to a loser now.
But that's what I'm saying. My feelings, last night I don't have a problem with it. But if they do it again and again...
No, the fact they've done it once is bad enough.
But
that's the thing.
It happened to Seth Rollins.
This is a new belt still. It was only introduced, 4 months ago.
August.
Right.
3 month old.
Even less, right? And you've already made it look like shit because the guy holding it isn't as good as your secondary champion. What does that say about that belt? It says it's worthless in comparison to a secondary belt, and it's already looking like shit. It's already got the stupidest name outside an anime about wrestling. Why should I give a shit that the world champion is the universal champion is the champion of the fucking universe if he can't beat the champion of fucking America?
But this is when like that argument will come back to the NXT champion beating the American champion for last year.
Different thing, because your US champion is the middle belt. NXT world title should be about that level.
But this is how I'm saying. Last night I'm not fussed, but if they do it again, mate, I'm fussed.
No, they shouldn't have done it at all. This shouldn't happen. They should have Owens either cheat to win and have Foley say, well, you're getting that match with Reigns anyway. Or they should have some silly buggers happen where Owens is somehow distracted by something and Reigns takes advantage. You do not pin your world fucking champion clean unless it's the number one contender going over him for that belt.
I'll give you that. I will give you that one. If somebody, to say like Jericho did show back up and distracted...
That's fine, because then Owens... Okay. And then after it, they've had to go, well, Owens saying, well, I was distracted with what happened with my best friend, who might not be my best friend earlier tonight. Mm-hmm. That doesn't fucking matter. World champion's supposed to be better than that shite. It should only be dealt with matters in the ring, no matters what happened an hour before it.
And this is like the argument I was bringing up earlier on about that mid card. In general, there is zero mid card.
Well, literally now, because if you're telling me the US champion's better than the champion of the fucking universe, there isn't a mid card title.
So that belt, like you said, the belts. I know what you're saying about the universal title being irrelevant now, but I feel that US belt was irrelevant because, like you said,
it is irrelevant. He's not defending it.
He's not defending it at Roadblock, which is worse because I guarantee you, on Sunday night, like it's already put in paper, we've got the IC belt in a ladder match. We have the world title in is a TLC match.
I believe so.
Right. So we're waiting to find out what the women's is going to be in the tag. The tags. It's the women's no had no DQ, if I remember.
I don't think
so. We'll find out.
They've not given it a gimmick, I think.
I hope they do. After last night, because last night they proved that it can be done. Yep. Just be better wrestlers, and I'm going to, and I'll get to Charlotte about fucking why, but not having that title defended makes zero sense when they've done it,
especially on a bigger show, like it's 3 hours a week. They don't need to lose a belt.
When Cena was the US champion, I had my doubts at first, but they've done something unique where he's like, know what, give me every mid card at me. Fair enough.
He made other people look good, which is the point.
He never dropped the belt until Seth Rollins, which was I still wasn't too sure about like the double champion. It was a cool gimmick. It wasn't for me. But they've done something different. Now, Roman Reigns is only fought Rusev mid-card. That's it.
Aye. And Roman Reigns is physically incapable of doing something like the US Open Challenge. He can barely keep himself over without putting over someone else and still coming out on top. Cena could do that through experience.
What they have...
Reigns, can he make a guy look good? He doesn't have the skill just now.
If they were smart as fuck, right? Now, we've still got 4 weeks. It could happen, you never know. The way I would book this, Roman Reigns is going to defend that US title before it.
You would think so.
And say...
Have Owens interfere, maybe distract him and have him drop that belt.
Yep, see if they even went back to Rusev, which I don't care because Rusev is continually good.
He should just be the sort of gatekeeper to the top of the card, as far as I'm concerned.
Let the guys get like what they're doing in SmackDown. Let the guys get the experience. The mid card's got the belt. Fair enough. In SmackDown, it's 2 ex-world champions, but that roster's learning. That's where they're learning roster, but it's better. Yeah. If Rusev had that belt, let the guys get better. Let the guys get used to it. Mm-hmm. You have your US title relevant again. He
Yeah.
has to drop that belt before that fucking title match. If they do not drop it, they have fucked this up completely, because Roman Reigns shouldn't, if he has that belt, be gone after another belt. It makes zero sense. Zero
To make
fucking
him look
sense.
strong.
I know, but it makes zero sense. See,
I know that. I know that.
In a logical point of wrestling, it fucking defies belief. Now, I would have loved that. Right, the Seth Rollins Jericho thing makes sense. That makes sense. So they'll have a match.
For long enough, that's fine.
If
It's there.
if he even went like that, right? So you had one scenario, Roman drops a belt before it, but say Roman had a match at a Roadblock with, say, Braun Strowman for that title. So Kevin Owens is left with nothing. Make your return for Finn Balor.
If he can.
If he can, if he could. No saying in a title match, but
Personally, I'm hoping he's a Rumble surprise.
that'd be better. But say if they'd done that, there's a seed planted, and say that title's defended at the Rumble, then you could forgive some of the shit's happening. And this is the stupid shit they're still doing. Like you said, the champion won clean. I'm no as fussed as long as they don't fuck it up in the next 4 weeks. If they fuck it up, mate, that's it.
We're never going to agree on this. As far as I'm concerned, it's fucked.
I know we won't agree on this one, but we've got 4 weeks where they've got to do something to get that We've been saying it for months. If he's in the main event picture, that belt should be nowhere fucking near it. That belt should.
And I swear to God, if they give him 2 matches and he wins both, I'm just stopping Raw. I'm stopping Raw.
That's what I'm saying. If they fuck it up, they've got 4 weeks not to fuck it up. If they fuck it up,
I'll make this a monthly podcast. If they fuck this,
if they fuck it up, they've got a lot of fucking explaining to do. I mean, people can go back and then argue the case with AJ Styles and James Ellsworth. The difference between James Ellsworth and AJ Styles is we know who the number one contender is. Now, there's been a lot of points put across about, but it's making that title look weak.
No, it's not. Because that title's not on the line. Not to this week.
Title's not on the line. It's been more. They've created a story where AJ doesn't like this guy. Roman Reigns has been pushed back into the picture.
This is your story. Roman's the best, and everybody's got a job to him.
Nobody's pushed Roman to defend his title. It's just been, you're straight back in the main event. Whereas you've had Dean fuck with AJ Styles to the point where how can you get back at AJ Styles? No, Dean Ambrose, sorry. And the fans, in the crowd, because the crowd, they pop for James Ellsworth.
Of course they do.
Internet might not, but that's the pop. So, who else have you got in the main event? Because you can't constantly have Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles go back and forward for fucking weeks, and this is the point where we're talking about Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. So you're going to have that middle ground. Now, the Wyatts... No, oh, well, sorry, there's another mid-card, mate. I could fling in as Luke Harper. Sorry, I totally fucking missed him.
Again, SmackDown only.
SmackDown only. I know I'm talking about SmackDown only for the IC title, but they might be going for the tags, because Randy Orton...
Well, that's exactly what they're doing this week.
Because Randy Orton is obviously off with his kid. So, you've only really got 2 main eventers, so you have to keep it interesting. And
well, Bray Wyatt can easily move up there.
Oh, he easily could.
And obviously Randy will be back very shortly. Probably Rumble time.
They usually could move him up, and they just have to do it right and just don't make him look weak or stupid. But in the meantime, the way they're doing that is entertaining. They're keeping a story going.
It's a fresh story as well. We've never really seen anything like this before.
And I had a comment, right? I had a comment, mate, on one of the things I posted this on, right? And it was about SmackDown and how AJ doesn't look that phenomenal if he gets beat. I know.
What?
I know. I do know. I didn't even reply to this because I was like, if you are taking this,
shows this point we've been watching.
If you really take this serious to the point where that is making him look weak, whereas AJ has made that guy, John Cena, Dean Ambrose, anybody he's been put in the ring with, makes them look fucking $1 million. How the fuck is he not phenomenal? How is he
People are
not?
fucking idiots.
How is he not phenomenal? He has been the best thing that's happened to WWE in a long time.
Certainly the main guy of this year.
Yes, he has been the main guy this year. If anybody I know like that they slam
Probably the best debut year in WWE since Lesnar's.
Yeah. If I know the Slammy Awards are all fucking scripted, we all know that.
Apparently not. They still insist that Roman winning Superstar of the Year was organic, believe it or not.
Bollocks. Do you know what I mean? But
that's what I think too.
See if, say for talking's sake, Roman Reigns wins it again. Right?
Let's not have that talk.
I'm just saying, because that's where the PW, no, the pro wrestling fucking top wrestlers.
Illustrated.
The top wrestlers in the world fucked up. Because AJ Styles wrestled in WrestleMania, that Kingdom one.
And Wrestle Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom. Royal Rumble, surprise entrance, and it had two championship matches with Roman Reigns before this thing was launched. Now, their argument was, well, Roman Reigns has won the belt and he's had 3 championship runs, but they've been unbelievable. Have you been behind that champion? No. Whereas AJ Styles, you're right behind that champion. And so to say, John Cena, if he was a world champion, you do get behind Cena as a champion because the guy is tried and trusted. Yes. But let's move away from this because we could talk all fucking day in this with Roman Reigns and how WWE can fuck this up. And they can. Hopefully they don't. Brock Lesnar's in the Rumble, which we called last week. We kind of guessed this was going to happen. So, Goldberg will not win the fucking Rumble. Thank fuck. Unless for some fucking reason today.
Hi.
No, I mean...
I don't know what's going to happen there.
It makes sense. It does not make sense for the 50-year-old being in the Rumble. Right, okay. He cannot win it. Brock has got... The two of them have got to be eliminated to set up their WrestleMania feud. Which we know is now going to happen because it makes sense. Which leaves out the big question of fuck, who's going to win it? Which is going to be great. That I like. So we know he's going to be in it. I'm going to just slightly touch this one, mate, because they're boring as fuck. The gimmick's over now. New Day versus the Bullet Club. They're doing heel things to win now, which we're seeing. Now, the roll-up of the tights, when the club done it first, they're a heel team. Makes sense. But Xavier Woods done it to win. Now, that's 2 weeks in a row where they've done heel things.
Yep.
To keep their championship going. The belts have got to be dropped at Roadblock. The thing's over. I am sick of them. They're past. They've got to be made relevant again. Having the title so long now, nah, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the main event, which was fucking excellent.
Yes, it was.
But we have one problem with it. Well, I've got two, but we've got a problem with it, right? So, great match, great, no disqualification, a lot of moves outside the ring. Charlotte could not sell for shit, still.
Oh, I know.
How many times was she hit with that kendo stick, right? And yes, people, they brought weapons into this, which I was surprised with. And Charlotte, got hit with it, I think, twice. I remember watching. Did not sell. Mm-hmm. Did not sell the hits.
I know, it's like she missed those lessons in NXT somehow.
So she sold one, mate, when she was in... Sasha was locked in the figure 4 and she gets scalped with a kendo and it's like, oh fuck, I remembered how to do all this now. And that's my problem with Charlotte. Is Charlotte a better champion than Sasha? Possibly, because she's got the look. Do
you know, I would absolutely love to answer that question, but it's this simple. We've no seen Sasha with that belt enough.
Well, that's it. And it's the same. Well, Charlotte, she's got a perfect record in pay-per-views, as in defending and winning back.
Yes.
On Raw, it's a totally different fucking matter.
It's fucking bizarre. Absolutely fucking bizarre.
Right. So let's go back to Survivor Series, right? where they made it obvious Bailey was targeted. And it was quite
Yes.
obvious.
And it was clearly the plan that Charlotte and Bailey were going to go at it.
Which is cool, something fresh.
Yes, which we were all expecting.
Yep. What happens last night? Sasha wins the belt again. This belt has been fucking passed so many times.
A hot fucking potato between the two of them.
Mate, I've lost count since fucking April.
I know.
That is 3 times each this belt has been passed. From pay-per-view to Raw. Sasha's the queen of fucking Raw, whereas Charlotte's the queen of fucking pay-per-views. Now, let's not take anything away from this match. The lasses were great. They done an amazing fucking spectacular
as
show.
Always. And Charlotte, like, she pulled off some nice moves, and obviously Sasha looked like she fucking killed herself, as always.
As always. The problem I've got with Sasha having the belt is Sasha does get injured quite a lot because of her move style.
It's not even her moves, it's because of how she bumps.
She's quite reckless.
She's the opposite of AJ Styles. I mean, we were talking about on SmackDown last week when he got his foot caught in the ropes and made it look like the most natural thing in the world. Mm-hmm. And he took that horrible bump off the ladder. We thought he was dead. But if you watch the replay, he was in complete control of his landing somehow. And similarly, when at Survivor Series, when Braun Strowman threw him out the ring by his neck, somehow AJ had power over the situation. It just baffles me how. But he's the complete opposite of Sasha, who just seems to think, well, the only way to make a good bump is just to try and break my own neck.
I was surprised that the belt dropped. I was really surprised. Now, we all know that the rules, if you're in your hometown, like that unwritten rule, you never win. It's one of these things. Sasha didn't win in Boston.
Yep.
So I genuinely thought, well, what's the point of having Sasha win again if Bailey was getting made out to be the number 1 contender?
Do you remember what I said last week about how it seems like there's 2 people in charge of the women's division? Whoever one's got a day off loses the belt in their person.
Yep.
Aye, it's that.
The thing is, it's not even like they can turn Sasha heel because there's too many heel women.
Yep.
With Nia Jax, Dana Brooke, Charlotte.
Instead, we're going to get another Sasha and Charlotte match at the pay-per-view, and Sasha will probably drop the belt again.
Yes. Guaranteed. It's fucking guaranteed. Guaranteed. It made 0 sense for Charlotte to lose the belt.
Yep. Just as it made 0 sense for Sasha to lose it.
The way they could have done it was Charlotte wins, go to Roadblock, it's got to be Charlotte versus Bailey. You've got Dana Brooke in one corner, Sasha's got to be behind Bailey.
Aye. You don't even need Bailey to win. You can make Charlotte look like some evil bastard.
Aye. It fucking baffles me, mate. This belt has been passed more times since it came out.
Honestly, just given up looking for any logic in this because there's clearly fucking none. At all.
It made 0 sense, and that ruined a good Raw. People might say it different, but it ruined it because it made 0 sense to drop the fucking belt. 0 sense. That in the first time in a long while was a really good fucking Raw where you're interested in watching it from start to finish. And they fuck it up with that ending.
I can't understand how you can have such a great match and such a bizarre booking and then, combined.
Obviously, you've got the pop with Ric Flair coming out, which...
They just did it because of where they were, obviously.
But mate, I can guarantee you Ric Flair's going to be back for the next couple of weeks and he's going to realign himself with Charlotte. It's a cert. It's a cert. He's like teaching her about all the fucking tricks and all. It's going to be, mate, it's got
to be. What's the point? I mean, it makes no sense to have Flair come out and go, well done, then. Never mind the last time I was on screen I was trying to kill you.
I know. It's great for a pop because they're in fucking Ric Flair's hometown, but it could have been done better. It was a great match ending. No, I don't agree with the ending. I'm not saying Sasha does not deserve it. I'm just saying not the now. Not the now, unless Sasha was getting made heel to go against Bayley, which they two have put on brilliant matches. Heel Sasha's brilliant, but because there's too many heels on Raw, they can't do it now. They need face Sasha. So it's crazy, mate. It's fucking crazy. And
I've given up with it. It's just, why bother? I mean, nothing. Well, you can't even predict it. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
At all. So just leave them to it. I mean, clearly whoever's in charge is what the Raw women do is fucking insane.
Aye, it did not make... Oh, fucking you're here. Oh, it didn't make sense for it. It did not. But, hey-ho. So, hopefully SmackDown follow up with a great SmackDown. Go home SmackDown, a fucking TLC this weekend. So, I'm looking forward to this tonight. This will be good.
Yeah.
And obviously, like we said, we've got 205 Live. Don't know yet if we'll do a podcast on that. We just have to wait and see how that show turns out.
Well, I'll have a wee look in Wednesday at it. I'm not staying up. Not a chance.
It's no. So, what are you doing now?
Raw!
Aye, what are you going to do now?
Don't know, anything except watch some wrestling.
I think Skyrim for me, mate.
Aye. Well, I don't know. But Final Fantasy X to go back to before I finally have the money to buy Wii Magic Boys, also known as Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, well.
I think Magic Boys is a better name because it's a J-pop band that do magic. Wii Magic Boys.
No baby metal then?
No, they're lassies.
I know, but they're awesome, I know.
Aye, but they're not in Final Fantasy,
people,
aka Magic Boys.
See people, there you go, you're starting to get insight between me and Martin now with anime fans and everything, and then, mate, you know yourself, if you see me in the fucking street, I look like a bouncer. With a skinhead and the heavy tattoos and the beard, oh fuck. And what am I? I'm a Transformers Lego fucking anime geek.
Very true.
It's true.
Who still hasn't watched the new season of Berserk?
Nah,
or watched any JoJo?
Nah, I'm a disappointment to the franchise completely, mate.
You really need to think about your life choices.
I really need to assess them, mate. So, but anyhow, people, this has been another episode of the Smacked Up Wrestling podcast for Monday Night Raw. It was a good Raw. Check out some of the segments we spoke about with Cesaro. It's worth watching. That it was a good Raw. Just we don't agree with everything.
There's potential for improvement.
Yes.
We'll see where it goes.
Yes. So, as usual, leave a like and a sub on the Gaming Vault. Follow me, Martin. You get to hear our amazing voices as we call these fucking matches for the night before. Because of being in Scotland, we don't get to see it live. Unless we want to set up to 3 or 4 in the
morning.
Really
don't.
Nah,
we really
don't.
It's no WrestleMania. Or it's no the Royal Rumble. So it can fuck itself.
So, also check us out on Facebook, leave us a like, check out some of the pictures, some of the posts me and Martin post there as well. And we'll be back tomorrow for SmackDown Live for the Go Home show to TLC. And hopefully it'll be a good show. I think it will be a good show.
And then we'll be back on Saturday where I will avenge Survivor Series.
I don't know, mate. I don't know what's... we'll get to the score. I can't remember the score, but we'll get to the score on Saturday. I don't know. SmackDown's usually quite easy to actually call. That's the thing. SmackDown's the easiest. That's the easiest one to call. I know, mate. I say it just now, and it's going to be you pull 1 point ahead or something.
Too right, I will.
It's a cert. So to next time, people, enjoy yourselves today, whatever you are going to do. Check us back out tomorrow for SmackDown Live podcast on the Smacked Up Wrestling podcast channel. And have a good day. I've been Will.
I've been pleasantly surprised Raw wasn't a shite.
And we'll catch you tomorrow.
Bye.